Oh, okay, cool. So what's up? You know, we're back in. We got the video on too? Okay, cool. All right, cool.
Your tripod is on point, though. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Tripod. T-R-Y pod.
Tripod.
Yeah, clearly. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to bring my iPhone one next time.
Hey, man.
I had a few situations in the late 90s like that.
Ooh, that VHS camera?
No, can't touch it or it'll fall over.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh man. So listen, here we go. Another episode of Skinny Black's Lounge. I am your host. This is Skinny Black. I guess we'll say it like that.
Robert.
And I used to be bigger, but now I'm skinny and I'm black. So that's, Skinny Black Lounge. Born out of COVID and being in lockdown and wanting a way to express and connect. So we started doing virtual happy hours, and the happy hour, in my mind, we was in a lounge. Skinny Black Lounge was born, and from that, been knowing Rennie for like 1,000 years, but we really started dig in on some conversations through SBL, and Rennie part of the clique now. So
in there.
Thank you. I'm gladly strolling through the door.
There it is.
Waving the fofo.
There it is. And across from me, we have my man, 70 grand, 30 grand, my man, JT. You know what I'm saying? Our boy Leland's pops used to call him CT, but he also called me Rod. So, that's another story.
Hi, Mom.
We on deck. And behind the ones and twos, behind the boards, we got Dio, from Amiri Productions. That's all good. So let's hop into it. So what we try to do, we gonna break down some different topics and just talk like we talk in the lounge. And we feel like there's some value to this conversation because we got a wealth of experience and knowledge right here at the table. And so, man, it's Valentine's Day, What's up, gentlemen? What are your expectations for Valentine's Day? Softball. No homo.
Yeah, I'm in non-participatory mode into the commercialism. You're not about to get me for the 1999 roses at the Flower Mart that are normally $19.99 for $79. I'll pass. It's a hard pass.
It's a hard pass?
A hard pass.
What about that basket though on the corner of Western and Manchester?
Yeah, I'm cool on all of that. All of that. You know what I mean? The fact that people are still buying into that whole game, I find it, astounding and not astounding at the same time that we're still creating these crazy expectations over this holiday, and people are legitimately disappointed by its outcome. Like that, I find it amazing. Like in the other holidays, the Christmas, there's a certain level of pageantry and the religious aspects of it and things like that kind of fall into that whole commercialism and materialism aspect of it, and then you roll with it. And you try not to allow those things to take you, to overtake what the spirituality that some people have about the holiday. But what is the purpose of Valentine's Day? Why?
Well, two things. Number one, I'm impressed. Manchester, you can get Valentine's Day basket,
yes,
some street tacos,
yes,
and a horchata at the same spot. That same 4'8" lady on the corner, is doing all three things. Only she give you the flowers, then she puts a bandana on, and all of a sudden she's making tacos. The purpose of Valentine's Day is a come up via guilt.
Speak on it.
You can give a woman a bouquet of flowers at your place, at the crib, And it means less than that same bouquet showing up to work. Because that gives her the ability to show off to her coworkers.
Yeah.
So to me, that's no symbol of love. That's no symbol of a relationship. I think the more interesting conversation is the things we use to replace real relationships. And that's one of them. The symbols of real relationships. And that falls in line. That falls in line with, look how much he loves me, and then she shows you a ring. And I'm like, no, that's how much he could afford. That has nothing to do, that's his budget, not his ability to love you.
So you're talking about quantifiable love based on a dollar amount. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. So the rings, all the showy shit, you know what I'm saying? Are you saying that's how women are quantifying love?
No, don't. I don't want to get it twisted. Genuine love, care, you express that in how you express it. But do you need Valentine's Day for that? You can literally buy flowers every day. We're in LA. You have a flower district in LA. You can go down and there are thousands of flowers there. Starting at 6 a.m. they open to the public.
Pennies on the dollar.
I know, because that's why I used to go buy, and when I gave my mom her stuff, right? You know, so.
Oh, just your mom? That's what you've been out? Only got your mom?
That's what I'm claiming.
Oh, okay. I'm just saying.
You know what I'm saying? This dude over here doing opposition research. Hi, Mom. So, no, but you know, you can do all of that, and why does it have to be dictated on this day? And if you don't do it on this day, literally you could have done it for the year, and you didn't do it on that designated day, and all of a sudden you don't care.
Yeah.
That's whack.
Now, with all that said, I have given in many years to the game.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah, you know,
for a matter of peace.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It's about. I mean, it's that whole semantical dance that you do in relationships, in order for peace. For peace, like it's just the problem is, you know, as you get into, you know, advanced ages like myself, my ability to swallow that siege becomes less and less and less, you know what I mean? So I can't subdue it now. So now I'm outwardly detracting from the space. So even if, you know, I participate in it now, they're resenting it because they know that I'm like, yeah, by the way, this is bullshit.
What's in the men's section for Valentine's Day?
Bruh. Get out my head.
More people to know what's inside of a fucking Twinkie than the men's section at Valentine's Day. Then one pair of white socks with the hearts on them. So it's not about us.
Looney Tunes tie with the hearts and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, you said something about the peace part, and I think we're gonna veer off a little bit to this. There's a deeper message that I think we're saying and talking about. When we're talking about the peace, it's like these are some of the things. These are one of the things that we have to do as men to quote unquote keep the peace. What are women doing to keep the peace? What are expectations for them? You know, and what are they doing in response to that to calm us down and keep the house peaceful from our quote unquote wrath and disruption?
Are you asking? Let me make sure we're clear. Are you asking? Let's say we go with all the game rules we follow.
Mm-hmm.
What is the return?
Yes and no. I'm almost asking something I almost know the answer to anyway. I do know the answer to. What's the reverse game that they're playing?
Yeah, because if you are playing this semantical game in order to satisfy her and keep her in a space where she feels valued,
right,
on this specific day, because
right,
society has placed this value in that this is the day we're going to validate love. This is the day where this is his opportunity, out of the, 364 days where you get to validate that. This day though, on this day, outside of the birthday, this day, you have to put forth this effort, whatever it is, and say, hey, this is my show of love. And you're saying, what's the inverse of that? Like, how's that
Absolutely.
return?
What is that?
We don't get shit.
Oh, okay.
So
Well, there it
that's
is.
like, podcast over. Good night, Cleveland. No, but the more interesting question to me is, let's say you're in a committed relationship and you do the date nights and you are communicating and it's you sit down and you really break bread and you're into each other and you're doing all of those things. It seems silly to me to put the emphasis on one day where somebody on a screen, an idiot box, tells you what to buy. I'm still trying to figure out how flowers, candy, diamonds, or any of those things mean love.
I was about to say, you trying to figure out engagement.
No, what I'm saying is, like, how
All
does
of
it
it.
mean love?
Hey, bro, that's like,
But knowing that, it's like whoever asked that question, like, like how, like, why are these the symbols? How do we get here? How do we get to this point where these are the things, that these are the symbols, and why are these the symbols? And can you show me the correlation between chocolate and love? Can you show me, like, okay, so if it's truffles, does that mean I love you a little less because you wanted strawberries, chocolate covered strawberries?
Okay, let's can we go just a little deeper?
go ahead, bro.
So, my entire life, well, I lost my virginity when I was 12. So since 12,
Damn.
yeah, I was a victim. She was 14 and she took it. That's another story.
Yeah, I have a similar story.
Yeah. Write that down as a topic. No, but guys are only after one thing. Okay? Now, forget whether I agree or disagree with it, but there are a lot of guys that are after one thing. But while going after that one thing, going after sex, many guys have become experts in how to get that one thing. Mm-hmm. Now, what I've been told by so many women is that they want relationships, they want a commitment. But I don't see the emphasis on the study of becoming better at getting to your goal. If your goal is love, wouldn't you study and learn what love really looks like, how to achieve it? Or are you just going to hang on to the symbols that you've been told? Could it be that's why we're the least married with the highest divorce rate as black folks?
Well,
Because we going style over substance?
well, is it love? Is love the real goal?
Well, that's what's said.
Is it? Because I also hear, income too.
But that's I think that's under the auspices of this relationship. You know what I mean? The love. You know what I mean? Like there's okay, so here's love here, and there's some accoutrements that go with love. One of which is a certain.
Well, see, I
level of
don't hear
income.
income.
You know what I mean?
See, you don't get the direct shot. What you hear words like comfort.
Yeah.
I want to be comfortable.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Now, comfortable happens to be living in the top 5% of the whole society. Right? Well, then, I just want to be secure.
Hey, listen, you can be secure in a one bedroom with a dude that, or a couple bedrooms with a dude that's a trash man, or a plumber. I mean, plumbers make good money, man.
So, lay pipe.
He laying pipe all the way around, So, but is that you could be very comfortable in that, the bills will be paid, it could be cool, what I'm saying? Everything financially, you're good. You wouldn't want for anything. But is that what we hear? I mean, I'm married, married 23 and a half years.
But there's a lot of
You've
love.
been married.
Yeah, we both have.
You've both been married.
But there's a lot of love in your marriage.
Yeah, but you know what? love is not the thing that sustains on a daily basis, right? Because you can get pissed off about some shit, you know what I'm saying, in a second. I think big picture wise, there's a caring for that person that could be called love. But shit, there's a lot of folks I love, you know, that I could make a life with. You know, I think I have chosen to make a life with this person. That ain't nothing to do with income. Shit. That ain't got nothing to do with whether she buy me chocolates. So the original question was...
Ain't nobody buying you shit. See, you messed up right there. We already established that 5 minutes ago.
You,
we not getting nothing.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So that's the game is fucked up then. So, you know, it's like... And that's probably the problem with black relationships. There's this emphasis on, you know, making sure these trinkets, as my man used the SAT words, accoutrements of the appearance of love, but yet when it comes down to it, you know, perhaps they aren't clear what that is, what they want, and so in turn they're not trying to figure out what we want. So in turn, we got this dissonance between us. Thoughts?
I thought accoutrements. Did I say it right? Was that plate with the cheese and the salami on it? But I have no problem with many of the symbols, right? I have a problem that they're not accompanied with the substance, that they're used as a substitute, and they're a poor substitute. Like, oh, like I said before, oh, look how much he cares. He bought this.
Right.
That's not caring.
But see, we know that. You just said something. One of you guys said this earlier. Like, we end up figuring out what women want, right?
No, that's what I was getting to.
Right.
So in our learning curve of being predators, basically, we learn how to play the role. So we'll give you the show, right?
We'll reflect back to you what you said.
What you want.
Right.
We'll give you the show. We'll get what we want. You don't get what you want. And we move on. And then, you know, inevitably, oh, all men want is one thing. No. Maybe that's all you had to offer, number one. Maybe number two, listen, like we playing ball. If I don't have to go to the second move, I'll just keep using the first one.
Yeah.
You don't make men go to the second move.
Ooh, that's deep. Good.
Put it to you this way. Just to say it out loud, because I've used this with you before.
Yeah.
You're listening to a song, ain't listen to the words, but you done bobbed your head to the beat for a month. Right. And one day them words start playing in your ear, and it's like, it's saying your mama, the bitch, the this, the that. You go, wait, what the hell are they talking about? That's us. That's what we do. But we never question why we like the beat. And this is what I love. In my experience, all the people are like this. But they never think, well, it's a reason why it's your experience. You haven't changed.
Yeah. Over and over again.
Yeah. So you keep getting the same thing.
Right.
They don't say, well, you know, I went to therapy for a year. I started doing meditation. I read 50 books. You know, I started exercising, getting my mind, body, and spirit together. And then the same thing happened. Yeah. No, you went to happy hour with your homegirls and then went back. Probably met somebody at the happy hour. You done dated the same person over and over again, just with a different name.
Right. Probably the same happy hour.
Because you bobbing your head to that same song.
Yeah.
Go ahead, hop in, Rand.
Oh no, I'm letting that process, that definition of insanity, process. You know what I mean?
I mean, so you know, what are you non-married guys seeing out there?
A heap of expectation. You know what I mean? Like if there is a ton of expectation, and there's a level of a bizarre kind of desperation that rolls around in this holiday.
Wow.
Where you could see people trying to create connective tissue in a space where there may not necessarily be any connective tissue. You know what I mean? Like as if like a run up to this. You know what I mean? Like this thing actually matters. And so you're foregoing like the basic foundational things that you do when you're trying to connect with someone in search of, hey, I mean, are we even simpatico? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, what, or can we exist in the same space? And then you're trying to just, well, to get to this, like, to say, I have this mythological Valentine, you know, for the sake of saying it. And then there's a level of, that expectation also creates a certain level of psychosis, which also kind of feeds some depression, because now you're weighing your own value, your own self-esteem based on this bizarre set of expectations. Oh my God, I don't have a Valentine. No one got me anything.
Yeah.
No one got me any of those corny little fucking hearts that taste like shit
Man.
and say be mine on them. I didn't get anything. No one even
They're better
thought
than
of
candy
it.
corn. No candy corn.
Man, I'll take some candy corn over those motherfuckers.
Well, I ain't eating none of it.
But I'm just saying, like, so now you're judging yourself
Yeah.
over a set of expectations that you never really bothered to question. Like, you never sat down and said, why? Why? Just like, you know, we've done it for, you know, something like a religious holiday. Let's say like Christmas. You know what I mean? You know, at some point in time, we all sat down and was like, well, what is this? What is this about? And we had that conversation about the level of commercialism and the level of religious spirituality that exists in there, and then how these were married. We've had this conversation with each other. And so I have to ask myself, like, so the people that value this Valentine's Day thing, have they ever sat down and had that same conversation? Like, why do I feel the need to march line and step with what this dogma that's created by this?
Okay, I'm with that. Let's do another scenario. Let's say you buy in. You're in a relationship as a dude, you do it. This is what happens over time. Because there's little reciprocity in this. What dudes end up doing is, like you said, I'm just gonna stop at the market. I'm gonna get this bouquet. Because now it becomes just like, it's not even performance anymore. It's just checking a box.
Right.
You know, I'm gonna get this box of chocolates, you know, I'm gonna buy, you know, a pair of drawers, you know, depending on the size you want, you might be getting some bloomers, you know, curtains, small shower curtains.
G-string look like a catapult.
Or whatever. And then it's just like, okay, I checked the box. Here you go, honey. Wow, kiss on the forehead. I'm gonna go watch the game. So what's the use of that? And then the woman is frustrated because really, this is it, you know. But because it's not genuine, because it's not authentic or organic, where does it go? So you're like you said, you're being dictated to. So when you're dictated to, it's gonna always end up as a problem.
Because you're eventually going to just resent it.
You're going to rebel. You're going to resent it, like you
Right.
said, and that's where we're at. So it's turned a lot of women into terrorists, and they're making demands like they got hostages in the back, right?
The pussy is the hostage.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
And then there's dudes just going soft shoe for it, and they're going to do it, and then there's the dudes that they really want that don't. And they're frustrated because the dudes that they won't play the game.
But they got a dude that's playing the game and they don't want him.
Yeah, because Bojangles, they don't want him. Oh, hey, Bo, that's cool. I'm going to take these flowers, take this dinner, and now I'm going to go try to get what I really want.
But see, that's what's whack about it, right? So
It's all whack.
it's all whack. That's another aspect that's whack about it, because you have these women who are in a relationship with these cats doing the Bojangle, the soft shoe cat, but in the middle of it all, they're doing it because those cats really like them women, right? They really care for these chicks, right? So they're doing it genuinely
Because they want to please their
because
woman.
they want to please a woman.
Happy wife.
Yeah, that bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can talk about it.
But that's what I'm saying. So you got these sets of guys who are actually doing their thing with these women, like actually supporting them, caring about them, you know, spending time, spending money, spending resources, and that's not what these ladies want. And
No,
so
no.
it's kind of fucked up.
It's what they want and don't want at the same time.
Well, obviously, it's more what they don't want.
It's what they want.
Oh, it's not how they want it?
It's not. Exactly.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
They want it from the guy that's not doing it.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Right.
So they want it, but they don't want it up on a silver platter. They want it from the dude that's not doing it because that's also an ego thing.
Ain't that a bitch? Ain't that? And see, and so here's the vicious cycle, and we talked about this a little earlier. So now, and I'll use myself as an example. So now I've done these things. We still disconnected because I'm probably not that dude that you want it from, or I'm not doing it the way you want me to do it. Now we split, right? And I'm like, yo, this motherfucker didn't even really care about me. Y'all did all this shit. Now, next time around, now I'm a savage.
Well, that's how savages are created.
Yes.
Listen, I'm not a woman. I can't speak on that part. But as for men, most savages, if you go back in the beginning, they're rejected men.
Yeah. Or created through some form of heartbreak or perceived heartbreak.
Yeah.
Right.
For that matter.
And
right,
it might not have to do anything like a woman's fault. I'm
yeah.
not blaming
Exactly.
a woman.
It could just be a perception.
Because rejection is rejection. She
Yeah.
just might not be in it.
Yeah.
It might be elementary school and the girl you wrote the note to
Yeah.
laughed at you in front of the whole
Right.
class.
No.
She didn't even check the shit. She
coulda
just chunked it.
She could have just been like, no, we cool. But she laughed with her homegirls at you, and you were like, oh, okay, I see how this goes.
Well, like at the 8th grade dance, when you ask same shit, right?
I posed this question a while ago, a couple of my homegirls, and I was just saying, have you ever like walked up to a guy and offered to buy him a drink? And then it was three of them. Two of them were like, oh hell, shocked that I would even ask, right? And the third one was like, she says, well, no, I would never do that. I said, well, why not? But what if he says no and he rejects me? I said, well, now you just walked in a man's shoes.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Just the theory.
Yeah.
We're not at the bar. We at the damn lunchroom at the office.
Yeah.
And you like, oh my goodness, that rejection is what that's the dragon we're supposed to slay.
Right.
Okay.
Happily you supposed to slay that shit.
And be happy.
And
Listen,
endurance.
like it is
Like that doesn't
my
mess with your
pleasure
self-esteem.
for
Yeah.
you to reject me.
Right.
Like that doesn't mess with your self-esteem.
Right.
Or it may even be a soft rejection where she just didn't like the manner by which you came, even though she wanted it. It was like,
But I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining. That's the game.
yes, 100%.
These days there are men who are doing similar things, saying, no, this is my line, this is what I'm standing on, this is what I want. And the reaction from women is a high, hard F you. Like, what the hell, what the nerve of you
Right.
to have what y'all call them standards, so I'll call them standards, for this guy to have standards.
Right.
You don't fit what I'm looking for. Hey, thanks. Let's see what's behind curtain number 2.
You know what you are? You're fat phobic.
I ain't say nothing about fat.
I did.
I just know.
Because in those situations, when we talk about standards and guys say, you little,
You know what the women gonna say? You weren't saying that when you was fat black.
You
Now
little-
you skinny black.
you little
You talking all that shit.
You little
That's what they gonna say. We remember you was fat Rob.
that's fine. That's fine. I mean,
New information.
I know.
Now you change.
New
your,
information.
Yeah, new
You know what I'm
information comes
saying?
into the situation. You adjust.
Absolutely.
You adjust accordingly.
my standard could be like, I'm attracted to a certain, weight,
Aesthetic.
build, aesthetic of woman, and you could love your overweight self all day. That's cool. But if that's not my aesthetic, if that's not what blows,
I
that's
think
not what get me excited.
There's the facade
What's
that
the
women
problem?
don't have.
It doesn't
aesthetic.
mean anything.
That's the thing. They carry on the facade that the aesthetic isn't as important as they say it is. And, I say this all the time. The woman walks into a room and says, "I sense someone with a great personality." You know what I mean?
Right.
They walk into a room, and whoever they're viscerally attracted to, they're going to maneuver themselves into a space where that something could happen. The onus is going to be them to create some chemistry from Adam. That's on the man. But it'll be the convenient placement in a space, some flirtatious eye contact, whatever it is, But it's still built on the same things that we are: visceral attraction.
Yep.
Of based on whatever those standards are that create
whatever.
over time, and they're entitled to that.
And it's fine.
Yeah. You're completely
us have
entitled to
ours
that.
too.
Just stop being in denial of it. You know what I mean? Like, stop fronting. Like, that's not the case.
Man, listen, I know I have not been the type for several women. Okay.
Man, come on.
And that's fine.
And I was completely, confident in myself. Like, yo, you need me in your life. And they were like,
we all been there.
nah.
She was like, not in this life, not in the afterlife.
Yeah, nah. And you know what I did?
Hey, you take the L and you keep
pushing. You keep pushing. I didn't go to. Hey Rob, man, she had the nerve to tell me, that I wasn't, I wasn't her type. You know what I mean? Don't you know I have a degree?
Yeah, I got a good job.
I got a good job.
You got your own place,
man.
a car,
With a master's degree,
transportation,
an advanced degree. You know what I mean? I have an education that I can beat your clitoris up with. You know what I'm saying? Like, why is that the default? Like, why is the default, when you say I'm cool, like, I'm educated and I'm a sophisticated one. Man, if you don't get the fuck out of here with that fucking shit, you know what I mean?
But see, they think.
Have you seen your thighs? Like,
but it seems to me they think they want to be us.
Hold on for a second. That was funny as hell.
Yeah,
Go on, keep going.
They want to be us, right? All the shit that they say that they got that they think attracts us to them is like, that's our shit, right? Y'all, women have put it on the men to be the providers. Society, even just how we, just natural shit, it put it on us. It's on us to provide, right? Okay, cool. We'll accept that role. We'll take the bullet. We'll have the most dangerous jobs in the world, which we do. Mm-hmm. We'll do the extra shit in order to make sure our families are good. That's cool, but we don't need women to be that, right? And I think that's the missing piece for women when they start talking that degree shit.
And here's
shit.
Something else. Even if you, in post-divorce and things like that, where I say to myself, I don't need to be in a space where I am the sole provider. You know what I mean? We could collaborate on this. That doesn't stop me from getting in that space and then operating like the dude who is the sole provider.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I've been indoctrinated as the sole provider.
Right.
From a young man, you know what I mean? Starting with my grandfather and him being like, yo, this is what we do. Yeah. We provide. This is what we do.
Well, it's a couple things. Number one, in terms of the provision thing, and I'm the same with you. Collaboration, and I think that black men are the most collaborative out of any group of men in the United States. I don't know the rest of the world, but I would say that outside of a few other countries, the rest of the world is far less liberal. All right, so I would say we're the most collaborative. But say it's me and my woman, and we have a house, apartment, whatever, and we both work and we both contribute, but we lose the house or we get evicted. Very few people are going to look at her and say, you let your family down.
Real talk.
And it doesn't matter.
We ain't even going to look at you.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
You know what I mean? We're going to be like, hey, dog, what happened, man? We could have helped you out.
Yeah, there's some stuff that just falls on us as men, whether it's fair or not, and there's things that fall on women. I'm not complaining about the game. I just recognize what the game is. Yeah. Okay? You can't have your cake and eat it too, to be super cliche.
Right.
And I think there's so many of our ladies are in the I can have it all mentality. And you just can't. No one can. We only have so much energy. And if you laser focus in on something else is going to be lacking.
Yeah.
Okay? That's number one. Number two, I am a fan of higher education when it's focused, because there's positions and things in life you have to get a higher education. You want to be an engineer, you want to be a doctor, you want to be a lawyer, whatever. But formally educated, okay, does not mean that you're well learned. There are brothers sitting in prison that are more well read and well learned than guys with PhDs. Formally educated does not mean you're interesting. Because you have a piece of paper on the wall doesn't mean you can carry a conversation.
Right. Right.
And if you have to default to I have this degree, you probably aren't interesting.
Yeah. You feel you have to flout that.
Exactly.
If everything you've read has been an assignment, then what are we gonna talk about? Because I didn't have the same major.
Right.
What we gonna do? And you didn't teach the class; you was learning it.
Right. And if you a psychology major or sociology major, and you're not self-reflective and can't be introspective about the human condition and figuring shit out in relation to other people, then you're right. You just did an assignment for that. That degree means nothing.
Yeah.
When things shifted and changed around me, it was a reflection of the changes and shifts within me. So until we get to the point where we look in the mirror and work on self, all you're doing is playing that same song on repeat.
There it is.
Mm-hmm.
The only analysis is self-analysis.
Yep.
There it is. So let's tie this back into let's tie this tributary back into a larger river, which is and I think there's some place and space to really to look at this when we talk about black relationships. It's around single moms raising boys.
Hi, Mom.
Yeah. And hold on.
Yeah, shout out to Mom. Yeah, hi, Mom.
And we got two right here, right?
Three.
Oh, shit. So, but we also have three men who had other men besides their moms.
Yes.
Besides our moms.
Yes.
Heavily involved in our lives, right?
Yes.
So there was not a lack of male mentorship, of examples, tutelage, in our lives at all. So I think that's a difference.
Oh, definitely.
Let's start with this as a baseline. I'm the youngest. I'm 45. I'll be 46 next month. Okay, I'm the youngest.
Happy birthday. It's like a month and a half.
Yours is before mine. Calm down. It's 2 weeks before mine. You're telling me happy birthday. We're still in February.
Oh yeah, mine is in 2 weeks.
A generation ago, our generation, when we were kids, there was no such thing as the phrase, I'm the mama and the daddy.
Oh my God.
Single moms didn't say that.
I think I just threw up.
That wasn't even a part of our culture. That wasn't a sentence.
Right.
I'm doing the best I can with what I got.
Right.
100%.
I need to find somebody to mentor my boy.
Right.
Or put him in sport to get him a coach.
Right.
Band, something. I need to get him around some more men.
Mm-hmm.
It was no such thing as I'm the mama and the daddy. Here's the interesting thing. I happen to, in my experience, I got my son full-time living with me to start high school, and he was with me all the way through college. I never said I was the daddy and the mama. I know other men that have raised their boys. I've never heard them say, I'm the daddy and the mama. It's part societal, as I see it, and part ego. I don't know your personal situation and this and that. You can't be both. We weren't designed.
Right.
There's only so much energy. There's only so much you have. And it is so much more powerful when two or more can pour in.
There it is.
I'm sorry, you are not limitless. You're beautiful. You can be greater than what you are, but you're not limitless. And us three together are smarter than any one of us alone. And I don't care how much I could spend a lifetime in study, and all three of us get together, it's still me plus two.
Bingo. Speak on it, Rand.
No, I mean, there's an aspect of that when JT said it's part societal and part ego, because we're all a victim of that patriarchy, that white patriarchy that tells everyone that we know what's better for you. You know, there's that umbrella of white patriarchy that tells everyone that they know the best for the world,
Right.
know the best for everything. And so black women have bought into that same level of patriarchy by socialization. It's not a purposeful thing. They bought into telling black men that they know better also because they haven't been in the space, if they haven't been around a man, if they haven't been around a real man. And that's another quantifiable thing that we'll put together, you know what I mean? But they haven't been in a space where and I hate that alpha, beta shit that people talk about a man with principles. So if you haven't been exposed to a man with principles, your, you know, recognition of what one is, how would you know if it's in your when it comes in your presence? If you had no exposure, what's your comparison and contrast? You know, and so then you're in this space where how can you tell your son? How can you create a principled man? You could make him a principled human being, but you can't make him a principled black man if you've had no exposure to what principled black manhood is. And there's this delusion, and there's this weird little obsequious obsession to say that and to place themselves in this space and say that I'm the mama and the daddy kind of thing, you know. And where does that exist anywhere else in society other than in white male patriarchy, where they could feel like they could tell you they know better than what you know? You know what I mean? It's white people that try to tell black stories and think they can tell it better than black stories. So who's the other person doing the same thing? Who's the other person saying that they think they could create black manhood without being a black man? Can you name anybody? I only know one person trying to do that.
Black women.
Shout out to obsequious.
You know, like
I will use that in a sentence one day. Not anytime soon, but one day I'm gonna bust.
I mean that.
Rob brought up something today. We were talking earlier. We had a meeting, Zoom, and he brought it up. And this is also worth mentioning. In our young men, something I see is the feminine nature of their responses and how they carry themselves. And I'm still in his thing, and I probably should toss it to you, but I'm not, because I'm selfish like that, damn it.
Right
no,
on.
but we all grew up playing sports. Mm-hmm. And one of the key tenets in sports was, don't worry about how the coach said it. Listen to what he's saying.
Message and not messenger.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
That ties into, some of it is archaic and some of it needs some more nuance, but let's just go with the general. As men, it is the message. Sometimes you got to disregard the tone and the delivery.
There it is.
I've had so many young men say, well, I don't like how you talk to me. A sentence that I never said. I never thought of saying. What do you mean how should I talk to you? Should I rub you on the back of your neck and tell you you're so strong and handsome while I talk to you? You beautiful baby boy. You want me to mac you? Ooh. But here's the thing. You walk out of that door, and how does the world treat young black men? Our boys are ill prepared for the world they face.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
We, as a family and as a community, have to get out of this delusion. Okay, yes, I love my children, my son and my daughter. Oh my God, I'd kill and be killed.
Right.
Okay? However, I'm preparing them for outside of my walls. They can get all the love they want inside, but it only exists in that space.
Mm-hmm.
When we walk outside of this building, when this is over, they don't give two shits about us. Okay?
Right.
And shoot, that's some of the people that care about us don't give two shits about us.
Real talk.
Right? So my baby ain't your baby. I don't say, oh, that's my baby. That nigga 23. He's 6'3" with a size 14 foot. Baby Huey, what you know? He's ill prepared to function in society.
Yes.
You haven't even created a man that you would want to be with.
Oh. Oh.
You could. Let's go back. If you couldn't pick one for yourself, how you gonna make one?
Mm.
And that's for the 3 women that's gonna listen past 30 minutes to this.
Well, and that's the thing, right? It's these young men coming out of these households that are turned off about the how things are being said to them. So you're absolutely right, and that was the point that I was making earlier. When we have these young brothers, we want to pull into the fold. Oftentimes, and me and my youngest was talking about this today. It's like, listen, who gives a flip-flop about how it was said? You know, that's our generation. We grew up, a man said to you, yo, little motherfucker, or yo, whatever, or hey, pea-head boy, or whatever, do X, Y, and Z. And our minds are, okay, he told me to do this. Did he tell me what other information do I need? Did he say? Right? I don't care how he said it. I was trying to get this shit done, right? Get it done in a way to where I'm learning something, right? These cats today, man, and I think about some of the tension we've had, just I know I've been a part of with some younger men, and when I reflect back on it, that's exactly what it was. It was how I said what I said, because what I said was on fucking point, right? It was definitely coming from a place of experience and knowledge and just been through some shit, but it was the how that they could not connect to, and it fucked up relationships for years, man.
And so there's a balance, and JT always says about the nuance. So there was a culture of condescension that we grew up in. Mm-hmm. Okay, and so we are of that generation that got that severe condescension. So those of us that are evolved individuals have an understanding of
severe.
Man. There's those of us have an understanding of that and what that could do self-esteem wise. We have an understanding of that. So we are practitioners of just the facts. You know what I mean? Straight, what's that? Sergeant Friday, Dragnet, just the facts, man. Like we are the practitioners of the generation of do this. Boom, boom, boom. It's said in an affirmative, said directly. Do it. Or this is what you're doing. This is truth.
Right.
This is not colored in any words. This is not flowery language. I'm not adding things onto what you did that don't relate to what your actions are. I'm just going to be direct and tell you what you did.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you how it violated the principles that you probably say that you're about. I'm going to tell you why that is not principle, right? And then because no one's spoken directly to them, okay, and because of that air of sensitivity that they have from being coddled and being spoken to in tones by which people are more interested in their emotions than their well-being. We've created this culture of sensitivity, because sensitivity is not a bad thing. We created a culture of sensitivity where you can't get to the message. You're so caught up in the emotion that you cannot get to the specific advice that exists.
Right.
And so, and I find this as a coach and teacher and whatnot, and they'll go back and complain about me, and I always, what did I say? What did I say? And it will always come back to emotional responses. It'll never be in the substance of what I say.
Right.
And then there's that other aspect of wherever they're at, there's a specific construct of what black manhood is. And if you don't fit into that space of what black manhood is, you know what I mean? They don't know how to accept that from you. They don't know, you know, what that is. I know specifically as a football coach, you know, I show up as the football coach on the field, dressed like me. And then like, man, you ain't no football coach. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you don't look like a football coach.
You know what I mean? You ain't a football coach.
I know you can coach your ass off, but
You
you,
know
don't
what
look
I'm
like a
saying?
football
That's what
coach.
I'm saying. And so it's that, it's it's the
Music teacher.
I do it on purpose.
Piano teacher.
It's 100%.
Piccolo expert.
Yeah. That piccolo player. You
That
know,
motherfucker play a harp.
and you do it on purpose because you need to teach them like, yo, man, how are you going to accept this message?
Right.
You know what I mean? How do you accept this message? And who are the satellites around our boys, our young men, that are creating this impetus so we can't communicate with them? You know, let's look at it. Let's examine the landscape that's creating that, you know?
Well, here's something that you said, and then you get into a principled argument, principled disagreements. But on one side, the principles are based on emotion and how I said it. Now they're running up against guys who have been brought up on some principles of manhood, like, yo, who gives a fuck how I said it, but what did I say? And what I say and what I stand for, you know, it's a tough wall nut to crack when, you know, it's like I'm having a conversation. It looked like a guy, but I'm having an emotional conversation that's steeped in womanhood. Man. So it goes back to the conversation about guys being raised by a single woman.
And I'll hear what you guys think about this, but one of the things that I think is one of my journey through manhood, one of my challenges and major hills was the mastery of my emotion. That means that I feel a whole bunch of things. But as men, we're gauged on, did you get shit done,
right,
or not?
Right.
And you can't be bogged down,
right,
in your emotion on that path.
Or your effort.
Right.
Right?
Hey, don't confuse effort with results.
Exactly. I heard it 1,000 times. Right? Oh, give it that fake try hard. You doing that fake try hard thing where you running and you shake your head side to side, make like you act like you're running faster, and just get to the spot. So the mastery of my emotion is, yes, I feel that. I will deal with that when I have that space for myself that I provide to deal with it.
Yeah.
But in the moment, I can't be outdone by this emotion because there's a task at hand that needs to be done.
Yep.
Right? I've had
and we're
all
responsible
kinds
and accountable to getting that task done.
Getting that task done.
Right.
Right? And that's just the bottom line. And so we are sending our young men into the world again, thinking that the world is going to validate how they feel in a situation. When you are, I don't care if it's school and your grades, I don't care if it's your job, I don't care if you're self-employed, I'm going to be an entrepreneur. You're ultimately accountable to yourself, and your life work and your income is totally dependent on yourself. You can't look in the mirror and say, well, I felt so bad.
Bro, working for yourself is the ultimate.
When that Cash App or Zelle or PayPal or whatever ain't chinging.
Right.
Southern California Edison.
Right.
Mortgage holder, your landlord don't give a damn about your feelings when the first come.
But you try
it. Every 25 days, you're going to get a letter in the mail with that bill on it. 20 to 25 days. You got to have the money to take care of it. And so the mastery of the emotion. And I think that the confusion gets in because, there's all kind of like caveman style, I don't feel anything. That's bull. Right. We always feel stuff. Yeah. We all feel it. It's what you do with it.
Yeah. And you may be really good at suppressing. That's all. You know what I mean? You may be really, and you may be doing yourself a disservice.
Bingo.
Yeah.
By going into suppression. I know that there was a point, for myself personally, where I just went into a mode of not caring. Like, I programmed that. I was the empath that went to the other extreme, to not care. And that served me worse. It was worse.
Right.
You know,
Right.
at least when I was in touch with the emotions, that emotional part of me, at least I knew how I felt about a subject.
Mm-hmm.
When I went to the other end, it would take me a second to be like, hey man, did that upset me?
Wow. Man, black man self-care. Yeah, that's another subject right there. So let's do this. Let's wrap this up, and I think it was a lot laid out here. And so if anybody have any questions, comments, please put it in the chat. If you give us a question, give us a subject y'all want us to talk about or break down, we can do that. We'll definitely dig into it. Like, share, hit the like button, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff. And
You know
let's
what,
go.
though? Before we check out,
Yeah.
I just want to say this because we was talking about it before we got on.
Okay.
And this doesn't go for everybody. This just goes for me. I have a few. We talk about Valentine's Day relationships, this and that. Okay. If you as a woman, if I feel like you could beat me in arm wrestling, we not gonna be together. If I look at you and I gotta size you up and be like, Vegas going minus 140 on me, we not gonna be together. If you look like you could beatbox real good, we not gonna be together.
It's the JT version of the Jeff Foxworthy, right?
Yeah. 100%. 100%.
You might be a redneck.
Yeah.
We not gonna be together.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
There's somebody.
If you outweigh me by 10 pounds or more,
10.
we're not gonna be together.
1.
I mean, I'm 190.
No, me by 1. Well, no. Me by 1. I haven't gotten a scale in a year and a half, but I know I'm more than 190. I was 190 in high school. Okay? And I was wearing that was almost short, shorts. Like it just started to let out.
But I like where you're going with that, right? And I think if you laid it out and set that out, if you can't be cooperative, if you always gotta have the last word, we're not gonna be together. I mean, we can do this all day.
We ain't even got to that part yet.
I
Listen, I got a lot of big women in my family. Got a lot of Clydesdales.
I just went to cooperative. You know what I'm saying?
I got a lot of Clydesdales.
If we can't be
4th of July.
Google Clydesdale.
You don't know what that is. Yeah.
And Budweiser.
4th of July, like the Budweiser truck parked out front. We're gonna have ribs and bud.
CLY.
If being right is more important to you than being in alignment, we're not gonna be together.
But
Yeah. You see how big they are? You see they don't look like a normal horse, right?
yeah, he like, damn, that's a big.
You see that's quite a stout horse, right? Yeah.
Now listen, and I make fun of it.
This is not an indictment of Clydesdales.
And we're about to
People love Clydesdales.
We're about to be done.
Jamestown doesn't love Clydesdales.
Rob, make a note. Because that'll tie into another conversation, and it's really about health and wellness.
Yes.
Because if I'm going to invest in you, and nothing's 100%, but I want to give us the chance to have the longest, most prosperous time together possible.
Yes.
And if you are bigger than me as a woman,
Yeah.
that means you're probably in
Unhealthy.
worse health than me.
Unhealthy. Right.
All right?
Okay.
That's all.
So that wasn't a criteria for me for years because I was kind of minuscule.
I'm about to say, you weigh 135 now.
Yeah. So but now, you know what I mean? In the advanced age,
245
now that I
is
am fully ensconced in the middle age, in the ripe old age of 50 coming up, you know what I mean? And I was in those, I was pushing that COVID 190 pounds on the 73 inches. And granted,
I mean, what's wrong with being 190 pounds on the 73?
Hey man, when you look like Feed the Children commercial, like I was looking like, you know what I mean? That wasn't cool.
First of all.
You know what I mean? The belly and the skinny body,
Man.
that was quite unhandsome. You unleash that and you're a man with a booty do? Come on, dog.
Because your stomach stick
You
out.
know what I'm saying? And where
Further than your booty?
Come on, man.
Thought
A man like that?
a white lady was gonna start talking behind you taking donations.
Hey, man. The Asian birds don't get down with that, bro.
For 35 cents a day.
There's Sally Struthers. You can feed me. You can feed me for just.
You could feed Randy.
Man,
You know,
if I get down to 190, y'all gonna be making arrangements.
Hey, man.
Talking about my ass in the past tense. Remember JTS, man, he was cool.
Oh man,
Hey, man. But it's a matter of. I'm not gonna go with a definitive weight, but you have to value your health, and there's no way that you are healthy, and your body mass index is like in the 40s. Like it's just, you know what I mean? Like it's just.
Hey, there it is. Next episode, the Beatbox Chronicles. The 40s was a time for swing music, not BMI.
Yeah.
Right. All right, there it is. There it is. So, also something that, as we do break down subjects and talk about some things, we want to make it clear that when we say the only analysis is self-analysis, I mean, you are actually talking to dudes who not only are self-reflective and not only are recognizing and identifying issues between us that we have personally, but also addressing them. Hey man, I feel like I got some weight to lose. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I could be more fit. You know what? I do something about that. I feel like my mental, need help. You know what? I meditate. You know what I'm saying? I journal. I just sit down and just listen to the universe and try to dig into and just to myself and ask for questions. I ask the questions to get answers from the universe. So meditation, working out, and even having open discussions with these cats, man, these are things that I know I needed, and I did something about it. So and I know these cats do the same thing. So we may sit here and talk shit about people and situations, but best believe, one of the things we always land on, the only analysis is self-analysis. What are you doing about it? So
Ashe.
with that, thank you. Like, share, subscribe. Skinny Backs Lounge. We out.